So the first Microsoft Excel function that I want to take a look at here deals with creating consistency within our data. Now, I open in front of you, I've got the example file. It's called Customer Orders 01. You can see it here at the top of my screen. Download it. Make sure you downloaded it. It comes with the prior lecture. So open that up and take a look at the first tab. It's called Customer Info. And on that tab, no big surprise, I've got customer information. Things like the company name, the customer ID, contact name, contact title, and so on. Now, this data came from some other source, perhaps some database in the backend that was gathering this information, or it came from some text file that you've imported into Excel, wherever that data is coming from. Now, when that data was originally input into that prior system, you had perhaps multiple hands in there, all these different people inputting this data. And that creates inconsistency in the way that data is presented. For example, looking at column C, or contact name, you can see that I've got the contact names for the customers, but there's some inconsistent casing with the way that people input this data. For example, Maria Anders, I got a capital M for Maria, but a lowercase a for Anders. And if I keep going through, Hannah Moss, it's all lowercase. I got Yang Wang, all lowercase. Aria Cruz, all lowercase. And if I keep going through here, there's going to be a few other examples of where the data isn't in proper case. We got people's names here, first and last names. I want to make sure that I've got a capital letter at the beginning of each of those names. In this case, John Steele, I want a capital J, a capital S in Steele. Let's get this to be proper case. So first thing I'm going to do here, in order to get these to be in proper case format, all of them, I'm going to introduce a new column. So I'm going to go click on column D, and I'm going to use a shortcut here. On my keyboard, I'm going to press Control plus. Then I'm using the plus sign on my number pad. On your keyboard, if you're sitting at a laptop, sometimes they don't have the full keyboard. So you're going to want to do Control Shift plus at the top of your keyboard. But Control plus, insert a new column. You can also just right click on a column and you got insert from there as well. Either way you do it. I like shortcut keys, but however you do it. I'm going to rename this one. I'm going to call it contact name. And now down below, I'm going to create this function called proper to make sure that all these contact names are in proper case. So here, I'll start with my equal sign. I got my equals. I'm going to create a formula here, and I'm going to type in proper. There it is, proper. I'll just give that a click. Opens up my parentheses for me. Now the proper function has one thing that it wants from us, and that's it. It just wants to know, well, what's the text that you want to convert to proper case? In this case, I'm going to grab C2. That's the text that I want to make sure is going to go to proper case. I'm going to close my parentheses, and that's really it. Equals proper. Wants one little bit of information. In this case, the cell that contains the text that you want to convert to proper. Hit my enter key, and there we have it. Maria Anders. Capital A and Anders. Now I want to copy that down, make sure that everybody gets this just in case they need it. So really simply, I'll use the autofill command, which is this little box in the corner. Love this feature. All I'm going to do here is just give that a double click, and that'll fill all the way down to the bottom of my list. And if I go through here, there's Hannah Moss, capital H, capital M. Let's see, Yang Wang, capital Y, capital W. Aria Cruz, looks good. And there was a few more. Philip Kramer looks good. John Steele looks good. All right, everything's looking good here. They're all in proper case now. And that's it. Let me open that up again. Equals proper. Give it the cell reference or text that you want to convert to proper case. And you've now cleaned up that bit of data. So try this out. Get the exercise file. Remember, it's in the prior exercise. Customer orders -01. Download that and try out the proper case function.